Hey vinyl community people, it's Mike MGK Boston back with another video. Today's something a little different. A week from today is St. Patrick's Day here, well everywhere actually, but I say here because in Boston, I don't know why they don't make it a holiday. Most people are out and about getting drunk, doing stuff. That's what they do. It's kind of, I don't go out anymore. Thinking about it this year because I haven't gone out since before the pandemic. Well, I've been out, but I haven't been out for St. Patrick's Day. So anyway, giving that some thought, but it's always a great party here. There's so many people of Irish descent here in Boston, and it just makes it, it's a wicked party, as they say. It's wicked party. Anyway, today I'm going to spell Ireland. So the task today at hand is I'm going to spell Ireland, either a surname of a solo artist, has to start with any of the given letters, or it'll be a band name. Real simple. So it's going to be 7 releases I'm going to show, a couple CDs, a few albums, the whole thing, you know how it works. So anyway, I'm going to dive right into it here. But first, let's say a little cheers. My friends around the world, if you don't know that TV show, this is a mug from the bar here in Boston. Nothing like wetting the whistle on a Friday afternoon. And I got a couple of friends here with me actually before I get going. It's another Irish Mike, I call this guy. And if you remember this guy. Richard's not a big partier like Irish Mike, but let's see what Richard has to say about the situation.
Why wait another minute?
Exactly. Why wait another minute, says Richard. Or,
you can do it.
I know, we can do it, Irish Mike. So Irish Mike's here. He's saying, hey, vinyl community, hello to everybody. Maybe do this spell Ireland thing with this Canadian Mike. All right, Irish Mike's going back up here. He hasn't had too much, so he's still vertical yet, so he's still standing up. So anyway, we're going to go right into it with the letter I. I is for Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. This is their 3rd studio release from 1982. I've seen this many times in the vinyl community. I don't know if I've ever seen a CD copy. Again, this is probably one of the first CDs I bought back when CDs were coming out in the mid-80s. Let's see. I did have the record at one point. Don't know where that is, but I do have this CD, of course. Not much, just the track listing here. A couple shots of the band you can see right there. And on the back, there they are, raising some hell. The boys right there. So that's Iron Maiden. Stands for the letter I. Letter R, of course, Ireland. It's Rolling Stones. Sticky Fingers, of course, 1971 with the Andy Warhol cover. Let's see. This is an original American pressing. See, it's actually got the real zipper on it. I don't think there's much in the way of on the inside of this thing. Get this thing open. Oh, there it is. It's not a gatefold. And it does have some, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. There's a tired Mick Jagger having a big yawn. And the rest of the lads right there. Of course, the logo. So we all know this album. I don't need to repeat all the tracks. You know it, and it stands for I.R.E.L.A.N.D for Rolling Stones. And now we're moving on to the letter E, and we're going to show my sensitive side. This is the only Irish artist in the deck today. It's Enya Brennan, sister of Mayor Brennan, also of another band called I.R.E.L.A.N.D. So you could call this bookstore music. You can call it new age. I just call it kind of chill. I don't mind it. I bought this right when it was released in 1988. And, it's got some Celtic numbers on here. Orinoco Flow was a big single on this one. You've probably heard it walking through the supermarket and didn't even know who it was. Again, this is Enya, watermark. And there she is right there. Black and white shot. And there's just a bunch of lyric sheets on the inside. And Enya, watermark. And just for giggles, I also have her debut that came out the year before that. Interestingly enough, this pressing from Canada is a different cover than the one you see in the UK. And she was on a label called New Age. Must have been some sort of a division of Atlantic. And you can see the track listing on the back. A lot of the songs are in Gaelic. There she is, a young Enya right there on the cover. I think this was 1986 or 87. Yeah, 86. E is for Enya. Now we're moving into the letter L. It's Lena Lovich. I've never seen Lena Lovich out in the vinyl community. I'd call this just straight up new wave. She was from England. No Man's Land, the name of this release. This was released in 1982. I think this was her second effort. Thomas Dolby had a hand in this and plays keyboards on a couple of the tracks and was involved with the actual production of this one. If you want to look up any of the songs on this, Blue Hotel is really good. And it's You, Only You. That's a really good one. They're both videos for that did have some rotation back in Canada on Much Music, which is basically the equivalent of MTV in the United States. That's where I first heard her, actually. And this is a used copy I would have picked up in high school at the time. Again, the release date on this one, 1982. There's Lena right there. It's No Man's Land. It's just her. There's no men allowed, apparently. Let's see what's on the inside. Not much, but she was on the Stiff label, which is pretty cool. Distributed by Epic right there. Cool logo. Love that. I only have a couple of albums on the Stiff label, and this is one of them. So this is letter L, Lena Lovich, No Man's Land. The letter A. What do we got here? We got the second release from Alice in Chains, Dirt. This came out in 1992, their second release. I actually saw them at Lollapalooza that year in Toronto, north of Toronto, a place called Barrie, Ontario, in the summertime. Wow, wicked day. I remember we were hanging out in the crowd between bands, and Lane Staley, we see this guy coming through in a green suit. Like he looked outrageous because it was 95 degrees in the shade, and we were not in the shade. And someone's like, hey, there's Lane Staley, but oddly enough, no one really bothered him. And they were a headliner, so they weren't playing in the afternoon. They were playing at night, and they were really good. The late, great Lane Staley. Them Bones kicks this one off. Rooster. Angry Chair is a really good one too. And the song Would, spelled W-O-U-L-D ? That's a really good one. If for some reason you don't know it, that's probably the best song on the album, Would. Great video for that one too. You can look that up. And the album called Dirt. Let's see what's on the inside. That's some kind of cool cover art, inside art with Alice in Chains there. This opens up. So any pictures of the band. Yeah, there's the guys right there. And of course, on the inside, got the lyrics, all different fonts. Kind of cool. So yeah, I would have bought this when it came out. Track listing on the back from the CD collection of Yours Truly. That's Alice in Chains, Dirt. All right, for the letter A. We're all over the place in the genres like I do. Little blues time here with the Nighthawks, straight out of Washington, D.C. Release date on this one, 1983. This one's called 10 Years Live because they were formed in 73, so this was like their 10-year anniversary. And as they're celebrating by driving this big-ass Cadillac Fleetwood, it looks like, out for a little drive. So this is a really good blues band. As I said, they're part of the blues genre. Repeating myself, but yeah, so if you like George Thorogood kind of barroom blues, these guys are definitely for you. I have probably 4 or 5 albums by the Nighthawks. This was the best incarnation of them. The lead guitarist, a guy named Jim Thackeray, he left the band not long after this and went out on his own and formed a band called Jimmy Thackeray and the Drivers. I have a couple of their records too. Let's see. Yeah, here's here actually within arm's reach. Here's a live Jimmy Thackeray album from the 90s. This is 1994, recorded live in Dearborn, Michigan. It's called Wild Night Out. And of course, yeah, Jimmy Thackeray, he's the guy right there with the guitar, of course, and he was in this band, the Nighthawks. And like I said, he split and another guy came in. Wasn't quite as good, but still, you know, good utility player. The new guy, the name escapes me, doesn't matter. But we're talking about the letter N. It's the Nighthawks. 10 Years Live. Mark Wenner, the lead singer on this, and he also plays harmonica. If you wanted to look up a couple of the tracks on this one, Backstabbing Woman's a good one. Push and Shove, that's another good one too. It's the Nighthawks for the letter N, 10 Years Live, the name of that one. All right, and it looks like we're at the end, folks. It's the letter D. I've spelled Ireland. Doing great with spelling, getting an A+ today. It's Depeche Mode. This is the name of this one, Some Great Reward. This is their 4th studio album, released in 1984. I just read this past week. They're out on the road this summer. Never did get to see them, and I was a huge fan back in my high school days. I might just go for giggles. I'm looking for a bigger show to go to this summer, and I think this will be a pretty big show. I'm not even sure if they have a Boston date, but I'm willing to bet they do. I just have to look that up. I'm a busy guy. I just didn't get to look that up, but I did say that they're doing an American tour, North American tour for that matter. Yeah, so on this one, Something to Do, People Are People was a huge single. Somebody is a beautiful ballad. And of course, Blasphemous Rumors, Master and Servant. I mean, this album's really good. It's really loaded. There's really not a bad song on it. They kind of, on the inside, nothing here, no photos, just lyric sheets. So there's actually no photos of the band. And again, the name of the album, Some Great Reward. It looks like this guy's got his reward right here. He's got his beautiful bride. So that's going to close it out, folks. Spell Ireland. I dare you. See if you can do it. Again, surnames of solo artists or band name beginning with any of the respective letters that spell Ireland. So again, folks, from me, Irish Mike, and Richard.
Let's get up and sweat and shout.
Right on, Richard. So cheers, folks. See you next time. Happy St. Paddy's Day.